Hey, what's up guys, Riv here. So if you spend enough time on Twitter, you start feeling like you're in a time loop. Like you're in some weird purgatory where a bunch of freaks on Twitter have the same arguments every single day. And I don't mean the same general arguments, I mean the same specific arguments over and over and over again. And today we're going to look at a couple of examples of arguments that Twitter freaks just won't let go of. And I want to give my final say on these issues until they talk about it again next week and I make another video reacting to them. But nonetheless, here we are in the year 2023, still talking about Nezuko's demon form. So the schlups over at CBR released this very important article talking about this scene from Demon Slayer, saying Demon Slayer fans across the web are protesting the series' portrayal of Nezuko, who transforms from a cute young girl to a busty woman as they discuss the over-sexualization of a child character. So I'm glad that CBR took a break from making their usual stinkers to make this extra stinker. But to give them a word of advice, the people complaining about this stuff, especially in the year 2023, are not Demon Slayer fans. These are what we refer to as antis or tourists. These people complaining have absolutely no interest in Demon Slayer or anime as a whole. They're just there on Twitter to morally grandstand about the appearance of fictional characters for internet clout. That's all they're there for. And to say that they are protesting, you're giving them a little too much credit. It is just a bunch of unsupervised children complaining about an anime character having breasts. Like, please, don't give them too much credit. But of course, you see kind of the irony of saying the over-sexualization of a child character, but describing her as she changes into a busty woman. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the brave protest that this article is referring to begins with these tweets right here. Originally coming from an argument, this user says, looks and acts like a little girl, then suddenly has big boobs when she has demon powers. Very weird and gross. Where they quote retweeted after getting backlash to clarify, Demon Slayer fans already coming after me, so I'm choosing violence. It is weird as F that the main female character looks and acts like a child, is literally muzzled, and is also sexualized. Just because there's a few good female characters doesn't mean Demon Slayer has good female representation. So there's a whole lot of craziness going on here. So the fact that they say she looks and acts like a child, I mean, number one, take your schizo pills. That is not what a child looks like. She's also a demon that is like decades old at this point, and again, acts like a demon. And I find it very strange that they're trying to say also that the fact that she's muzzled, that piece of bamboo in front of her mouth is somehow sexualizing her. Again, there's a common theme about a lot of people who complain about Nezuko's demon form. A lot of them are just coomers with a possible porn addiction because they see anything like breasts, for example, and assume immediately that means sexualization when it's just existing. But of course, we all know this is the scene that everyone is talking about. It is Nezuko's demon form that was finally put into the anime. It already existed in the manga, obviously, for many years. But it came out about 2 years ago in the anime and people were freaking out about it. You probably got some sort of a PTSD flashbang just from seeing this image because it was so widely talked about and apparently still needs to be talked about in the year 2023. And just like this user points out, what? She's sexualized just because she has breasts now in her adult form? Like, please. So the main protagonist of the first set of tweets would end up making a gruesome discovery. Now, I don't know exactly what this person was saying because it looks like I'm blocked, but you can tell based on the context that they told this user that Demon Slayer was written by a woman, where they reply, I had no idea that Demon Slayer was written by a woman. That makes it even more disappointing that there aren't many good female characters. Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we watching and reading the same thing? Like, I'm not the biggest Demon Slayer fan, but I know that there are plenty of good female characters in that franchise. Like, to think that simply adding breasts onto Nezuko invalidates her as a good character but also goes to completely invalidate all of the other well-written female characters in the series. Like, be for real, dude. Like, don't let Nezuko's demon form allow you to just discredit the entire female cast of that franchise. Like, again, arguing about Nezuko's demon form in the year 2023 will make anyone feel like they're going crazy, but we move on to some other familiar arguments of the past couple of years on Twitter. This person making a viral tweet with like 50,000 likes, saying a good moment to say that I hate this with all my being. And of course, this is the Pokemon Gardevoir. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. But then, you have the canon version versus the fan art where it has larger breasts. Again, Twitter freaking out about characters having breasts. What's new? But, Gardevoir, great Pokemon. I mean, when I did my Pokemon Smasher Pass, I hit an easy smash on this one. It was like the 1%er, It was one of the few that got the smash button. But, yeah, you hate this? Well, that's called art. People are allowed to do whatever they want with characters, and guess what? People are going to draw big boobs on anime characters. That's a big shocker, I know. But often, when you're going to find art like on the rights, you're going to find it in not safe for work spaces or on not safe for work art accounts. Like, don't be shocked when you go into a not safe for work space and find something that is drawn with large breasts or is sexualized in some way. Don't act shocked. You got exactly what you were heading towards. But again, I think the funny thing about this is in the quote retweets, you have hundreds of artists posting their own large-breasted version of this character. And for that, I think that's the perfect response to this entire tweet. So now we're moving on to possibly the most annoying image on the internet currently. So this person saying Gogetta becoming the literal face of owning lolicons is the best thing that ever happened to him. So in case you haven't noticed, these memes, they are used by antis left and right on Twitter to respond to virtually anyone who likes anime and forget about anything to do with lolly or lolicon. And they are the worst arguments ever, and it always features the same character on it. And you can pretty much argue against every single point without even trying, like, oh, the age of consent is 18. Excellent news. I'm glad that we're talking about fictional characters that don't have the ability to consent. And what makes all of these things even worse is that the creator of Dragon Ball has drawn his own characters in this way, with themes of lolicon and shotacon, and they don't even know this, and yet they use the likeness of his character to attack people over drawings. Like, I don't think he would support what you're doing online. And the whole idea of becoming the face of owning lolicons by spamming them with tired memes that don't make any sense and make you a giant hypocrite by using them, I don't think that's exactly owning anyone. And also imagine how lame it is to use what's considered the strongest being in the universe to own lolicons. Like, it takes the strongest being in your universe to attack people posting anime girls online. Be for real. This whole thing is the most embarrassing set of images. And again, all you got to do is counter them with the image containing the creator of Dragon Ball. And they'll have no argument. There's literally no argument. They're using product of someone who has illustrated Shotacon Lolicon to own that exact sort of theme. Like, there's no counter for their hypocrisy. They can't do anything about it. But speaking of that topic, we have some more localizer drama, this time coming from Viz Media. Once again, changing the term lolicon to pedophile. That is nothing surprising. In this case, we have a scene where a character's necklace is broken during battle and the opponent finds it and finds a picture of a young girl in it and calls him a lolicon in the correct version, and then he corrects them by saying he's a siscon because that's his own sister. And in the Viz Media version, they changed that to pedophile, and then he just describes it as his sister. Now, amazingly, Crunchyroll actually got the correct version of this, which tells you things are quite bad. I don't know what Viz Media is doing here. It seems like every time they start gaining a little bit of respect, they pull stupid stuff like this. This is like so pointless for many reasons. Like, again, they're adding some virtue signaling in that's going to turn people off from your company. They're going to make you not trust your translations as much, and they just don't like the virtue signaling, right? And the thing is, you're creating controversy by self-censoring. If they had kept the correct version like Crunchyroll had, nobody would have complained about this scene. Nobody complained about the proper translation that Crunchyroll made, but here people are bringing up this subject because they made the censor, right? Because they self-censored and put that in to their localization. So they really just created controversy for themselves. And then you have idiots in the quote retweets saying, oh, they got it right, and spreading more misinformation. Like, it just goes round and round every time one of these localizers decides to improperly change the term lolicon to pedophile. But we're going to end with a good lesson to be learned here. So this is a whole mess that everyone is dunking on right now. This post is terrible and embarrassing. I don't know if it's bait or not, but it really serves the same purpose, and that is getting people made fun of. So it says, if you like anime, this is a reminder, so here it is, stop deucing all over lolly and check yourself. And basically it's saying that it's okay to like lolly because it doesn't lead to pedophilia, and describes it, of course, in the absolute cringiest way ever. But liking yaoi is morally wrong because it leads to sexual perversion. Yeah, again, obviously you can't really have this both ways, can you? If like one of these things is okay, then both of them are. And I say this all the time, antis don't really have any sort of a real argument to any of this stuff. They just like to attack people, and they need a valid reason to go after them. Or not even a valid, just like an opening, right? So they find posts like this that are pro-lolly and basically flip it on them, right? To attack them and go, wow, what a maniac this person is. Who would actually believe this? Well, they don't just make fun of this user, they make fun of all lolicons or lolly enjoyers, or even just anime fans by saying these people are unhinged and weird. And these type of posts that are pro-lolly do more damage than antis could ever attempt to do themselves. It just serves as ammunition for them, and you're basically helping them. And people like this are a joke and making this whole thing just exhausting. And it'll always continue to serve as a weapon for antis to continue their misinformation and their harassment campaigns. But that's going to do it for this video. I know it's like a little trip down nostalgia road, except for it was all bad memories. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please share all of your thoughts about the related topics from this video, and I'll see you guys next time.